Hello, welcome back to Moldy Tacos Gaming, and welcome back to my laundry room, where I have a small story for you today. Um, I have played the Stanley Parable one time. I got an achievement for completing the Stanley Parable, which I'm pretty sure I just followed the instructions, and then I was going to get wacky and start disobeying. When I popped that achievement and I looked at the achievements and I saw go outside, don't play the Stanley Parable for 5 years. At which point I went, okay, fair enough. And I uninstalled it with a promise that I would not play for 5 years. Now, if you look up here, last time I played was January 29th, 2019. It is currently January 30th. I gave it an extra day just to be sure. So welcome to the Stanley Parable, and welcome to me getting the achievement, go outside. Let's just hope this plays... Oh, wow. So I remember nothing about this game. Am I still recording? What's happening? Okay. Okay, so my screen goes completely white on my second screen that shows my recording. So we're just going to go for it and hope for the best, I guess. Oh, and I don't have my mic plugged in properly or my headphones, so give me just a sec. Okay, so it's in a very small screen, but we're going to select begin the game so I can watch my record. So when it goes full screen, it actually blocks off my second screen over here that shows me that I'm still recording. So without further ado, let's play the Stanley Parable and hopefully get the achievement, go outside.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Mm-hmm.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427.
427, got it.
Simple. He sat at his desk in room 427.
That's me, that's Stanley.
Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others
couldn't be me.
Stanley relished every moment that the orders made.
It could not be me.
They had been made exactly for this job.
He said sitting at a computer desk for hours on end recording. Granted, I don't get any orders, but
something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong.
I'd
Shocked,
say.
frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, can I interact with anything? No?
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley
I will be happy.
Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, Very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do.
And he did now.
Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
I'm guessing that was the ending there. Okay, so Stanley left his office. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Where's the meeting room? So my first time playing this, I'm going to probably... How do I get in there? Okay. No? First time playing this, I will probably... Awaiting input. Okay. Input received. Okay. First time around, I'm probably going to follow the instructions. And then we'll go from there. Getting a little bit of lag. But we're already here. I've committed.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. All of these doors are locked.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay. Aha, the broom
Stanley
closet.
stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
You got it.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Upstairs. Yeah, and I feel like doing everything is going to take like trying everything with 1 deviation and then with 2 deviations and so on and so forth. Now, I've not gotten the notification that I popped the achievement.
Into his manager's office, Stanley
2019 to
was
2020.
to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked?
Yeah, it's been
unraveled,
5 years.
Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course,
Aha.
Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
But he said it was hiding behind the boss's desk, right?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input
Here we go.
anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Couldn't possibly know that the combination is 28445.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
Hello?
He stepped into the newly opened
Oh.
passageway.
I didn't get instructions to go down. This game is kind of creepy, but only because there's like no one here. Like that's the creepiest part about it. Is that I'm all alone. Which I'm sure is the point. And then they put in the voice actor that's making funnies the whole time. Which makes you feel weird. It's a weird feeling.
A bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself. to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question
That is in the game.
unanswered for long.
Because there's no like jump or
Stanley
run
watched
or
him
anything.
head through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I think I see our first deviation. And if you'd like to see more of this, let me know. I would be more than happy to play more. Maybe we could do all the scenarios. I'd like to read that, please. Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
This room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Yep.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
What was my employee number? Was it 427? Because there's 433. Oh, here we go. 427. I think that one's me right there, dead ahead. Yeah. But it's just a... Okay, so is this the next step over here? Looks like it.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
I thought that would be like a live feed, though.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Aha, the power. We're going to dismantle this once and for all. But wait. Is me following what the guy is telling me him mind controlling me? Like, I've played BioShock. Wait, was that it? Oh.
Blackness.
What's
And the
going
rising
on?
chill
Oh,
of
sorry about that.
uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? As sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal
That's fair.
had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer
Oh.
would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life
Wait.
he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know.
Oh, is that like slowly coming
It was
down?
perhaps
Yeah, it is.
the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility
I'm hands off
of a
now.
new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
All right. I don't remember that ending, so I'm wondering if that whole complete the Stanley parable was not that one, but just like get any ending, because yeah, I don't remember that at all. Okay, so let's go do another
I
scenario.
can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
Oh,
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
so that's gonna be like one of the last deviations that I do, and that's if you guys would like to see me play
Yet
through
there
a
was
couple
not
episodes of
single
this.
person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
And that's
Coming
going to be the
a
next
staircase,
deviation
Stanley walked
there.
upstairs to his boss's office.
Because it looks like the paths that I take are going to be the main deviations.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley
I
wondered
don't remember what it was.
to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Oh, okay.
Feeling soothed
Okay.
and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I wonder if I can fall down there. I'll have to try that next time. Alright, so the next deviation, or this deviation, is going to be going through the exit, or that escape sign. Because I get the feeling I didn't quite actually escape.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read
Nope.
Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Can't wait. Girl, give me that violent
The
death.
door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Nah, dude. Couldn't be me.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yep. Give me that violent death, baby. Wow. Didn't even give me the death. Like, I didn't get the death. I just went, no. Oh, here we go. Okay.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and
I thought it was going to refresh us.
It reflected that his life had been of no consequence
But it did not.
whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his
Okay.
death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Give it to me. Do it. Do it.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was
What is
obliterated
happening?
as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
What is happening?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Oh, it's so pretty.
When every path you can walk.
Oh, it's like Nominee's house. I don't know if you guys know who Nominee is. She's from Kingdom Hearts.
Making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Selection of the sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Huh, okay. Here's the credits. Okay. Maintenance room, an early version of the maintenance room. Okay. I don't think I want to go there yet because there's another place over here, unless they lead to the same place. Oh, and there's stuff over here. We're just going to explore a little bit. The two doors. The set of two open doors was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction this room posed. The blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. Okay, and there's one more here. The corridor. The pacing of this opening section was important to get right. This corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the two doors in a good time. Okay. Office computers. Oh, you can only turn them off? Okay. The office clock. Okay. Boss's office. Oh, is this different iterations of the boss's office? Okay. Oh, another set of stairs. Different from that first set of stairs. Oh. Narration outtakes. Kevin Brighting, the voice of the narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over the 2 years of development. These are clips from early tapes that were not used in the final game. Huh. Oh, goodness. An early version of the underground portion of the game. Okay, so it's not horribly different, except they changed how it's labeled escape. They changed that into the employee lounge. Nice. They changed it from being labeled on top of the door to being labeled next to the door. All these doors are locked. So let's check out these last few things. Stanley's computer. No? Okay. Nature paintings. This one is such high quality. Okay, so these are just the different paintings I suppose we probably passed without even noticing throughout the game. And then... So I guess we're going up the stairs now, huh? Am I going crazy? Maybe this isn't the same image. Was that clock there before? I don't remember. How do I go back? Can you check for me? More endings, fewer endings, more narrators, fewer narrators, more Stanley, less Stanley. These are screenshots of the Stanley Parable HD Remix. The point of the Stanley Parable HD Remix is to win. The point of the Stanley Parable HD remix is to lose. Right, because it's a parable. That makes sense. Okay. Is that Tron? It looks like Tron. Warning. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. Oh, so that's like an alien base, I guess. And that's the battlefield. What is this now? Interesting. Okay. So now we're just going over, like, development? Is the cargo lift? Can I have the narrator back, please? I would really like the narrator back. Because there's stuff like skittering around. In a previous version of the choice leading... Oh, that's what that was. In a previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. Interesting. The Zending went through many iterations. This room represents the fourth version of the ending, and we thought it was complete, but decided to abandon and change it again shortly before launch. For a long time, we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Unfortunately, very few players realized this was what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. Okay. These levers were originally a part of the Zending. The player would pull a lever and the narrator would describe what color they had pulled. And now I can't pull the levers. Okay. This screenshot depicts an early version of the ending known as the Zending, which was eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. Okay. So what is... For a time, the elevator in the monitor room could go up or down with freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down and placed the two endings together instead. Okay. This is the freedom ending as it existed in beta, so they made it way more pretty. One of the deaths from an early version of the countdown ending. So I don't know what this countdown ending is or any of this, because I've not explored it that much. Okay, so that takes me out there. Have we been through all this already? From left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office over time. The first was created in November 2011, second in March 2012, and the third in February of 2013. Okay. Oh, and this is my office now. Okay. Okay. Well, then I think we're going to... Where'd that door go? Is it through here? Yes, it's right here. Exit. So I guess we're just...
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see?
Okay, I just turned off the Stanley Parable.
No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Okay. So, like, what now?
You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now. It'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it.
Did that work? I clicked to skip. I don't know if I should have done that.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
Oh. Wait. Wow, I walked farther than I had thought.
No, the orders were still missing. For now.
Okay. Do I have to find the PCs that are on? This guy's job is just sharpening pencils. Which we don't use because they're all computers. Oh, I have to find all the PCs that are asking for input and input. Okay. I think I can do that. Maybe.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Nope.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers but eager to get back to business,
okay.
Stanley took the first open
Yep,
door.
there's that painting. Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Alright guys, so this is going to be the last ending that I'm going to do tonight. If you would like more... Alright. If you would like more scenarios, let me know. I will do as many as I can find. I'm very bad at like keeping track of all of this. Like what I've done, what I haven't done.
But you, all this time? There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Alright, I'm curious. Who's curious?
Oh, Stanley, is that you?
Yes?
Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right,
She
now,
sound cute.
I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley.
That's
I'm trying
rude.
to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Good morning, employer 427. Press F on your keyboard.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He
Okay.
has a job that demands nothing of him. and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Okay. Can I just press nothing?
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
Okay, so we're gonna listen, and I'm guessing this is gonna turn into my office.
Going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that.
But it is turning into my office.
Everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible
Sorry about that.
paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might.
This is quite interesting, though.
Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me.
Free will doesn't exist.
Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Okay, I'm not gonna do it. I'm trying to speed through this last ending, and it ends up being a super long one, actually. I wonder if it's just gonna sit here until I press it, and he's gonna be like, "No, I told you not to." Okay.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
A mirror. Press R to question nothing.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Please die.
Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
This game is hilarious. Okay. Let's see if that was the ending. Okay, looks like it. Thank you so much for showing up. while I outro, we're actually going to make sure that I got that achievement. So I will be right back as I get this back up. Okay. And there it is. We have unlocked what 14% of other people who have played this game have unlocked. Go outside. Don't play the Stanley Parable for 5 years. So there's not a whole lot of achievements in this game. 10, and I've unlocked 3 of them. So if you would like, I will look up how to do these other achievements. Just let me know, and I'll be more than happy to do that. In the meantime, I'd like to thank you all for showing up. Thank you all for the support. I hope you have fun, and if you want to see more of the Stanley Parable, just let me know down in the comments so that I know that it is sought after. I hope you have a great night, day, whatever it may be right now. I will see you next time, and until next time, bye.